Good morning. It may not be morning when you're watching this. Hello. I feel like I'm all off. Hello and welcome to the Modern Skein podcast. My name is Sharon Graff and I am the owner of the Modern Skein, which is a yarn shop here in Montgomery, Texas. And in case you don't know where Montgomery, Texas is, we are about an hour north and slightly to the west, but just ever so slightly north of Houston. So yes, the giant city of Houston. I think we are technically still a suburb of Houston, even though we're 50 some odd miles away. It's a big city. Anywho, hello. And I've said hello like 15 times, so I need to stop. I need to drink some more coffee. I have just wrapped up the Texas Yarn Trail, so I'm a little bleary-eyed from that. But it was a great yarn trail, as it always is. This was our 5th annual Texas Yarn Trail, actually, which, if you don't know what the Texas Yarn Trail is, that is our, we say, like, for lack of a better word, Greater Houston area yarn crawl, basically. We'd call it the Texas Yarn Trail. Kind of a play on the Texas Independence Trail. So it has shops all the way from Galveston on the coast up to me and Mohair and More north of us, and just all the fun shops in the Greater Houston area. So if you attended that and you're just now watching the podcast, hope you had a great trail and I hope you enjoy the podcast. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button and the bell to subscribe and get notifications. And thank you so much if you already do subscribe and get notifications. I think we just hit 2,000 followers, so fantastic. Thank you. We are looking to grow the YouTube podcast, so anytime you share it with your friends on Instagram or tell your knit group about it, we do appreciate it very much. And I say we because it is obviously just me filming this, but Josh does all the analytics and the uploads and the edits and all that fun stuff. So he's always like, "Oh, did you answer that? Did you answer that comment? Don't forget about that." So he keeps track of all that fun stuff. So grab you a beverage. It is morning time, so I'm sticking with coffee. But I've been watching a couple other podcasts where they film in the afternoon and they do like a little wine review, and it's adorable. And of course you've got happy hour with like Garçons, who always have a fun drink or cocktail. And it's like, man, I need to change my time and not film in the morning when it's just, what am I drinking? Coffee. It's always coffee. It's never anything different. But I definitely need coffee. I actually do have something different. So I have my regular hot coffee today in my Modern Skein mug, of course. Let's see. I'm also trying a new like autofocus thing, so hopefully it works. Modern Skein mug. And then I also have, see what I do when I get a fancy, like a Starbucks drink, which I did get Starbucks the other day. I always get the big one and then only drink some of it and put ice in it and drink it the next day. So this is, now that it's, okay, very upfront. This is going to turn into a coffee review podcast. I don't like pumpkin spice coffee stuff, but I like their pumpkin cold foam. So I get a shaken espresso with 2 pumps of white mocha. It does make it too sweet. No classic syrup, none of the other sweeteners, only 2 pumps because I don't like it super sweet. And then top it off with the cold foam. It's so good because you get a little bit of white chocolate, that little bit of cold foam. Suri's feeder just went off, so she's like, food, finally. It's good. And it's even good the next day. So, that was my coffee review. But no, normally I'm not a Starbucks fan, but find the local artisan coffee shop and get like a lavender latte or whatever house-made syrup that they do, or if they're known for a specialty drink, that's always my favorite. But since this isn't really truly a coffee podcast, I'm going to get started on my whips. So I actually have 3 whips to share with you guys, mostly because I was knitting at breakneck speed to try and finish these samples up for DFW, which DFW, by the time you watch this, we are going to be, well, we won't be driving up, but we'll be just a few days away from packing everything up and heading to DFW. So if you have no idea what DFW is, or you think I'm just going to an airport for fun, we are going to the DFW Fibre Fest, which is the state of Texas' largest fiber festival. It's been going on for many years now, and it's up there in the leagues of like the Vogue New York, Vogue Knitting Live events. In the past when we had them, the Stitches events. So they're very large vendor events. They also have classes going on as well for the weekend. But it's really it's the largest one in Texas, but it's a very large one. I've been to several of those style events, whether it be Vogue New York, other Vogue Knitting Live events, Stitches events, things like that. And DFW is just as big, if not slightly bigger. And it's a super fun event. I'm not a part of it. I'm vending at it. There are vendors from all over the United States, and some local, some out of state. It's really, really fun. You've got teachers from all over that come in and teach classes. And then, of course, the vendor hall, my favorite, because I vend there. And it is the vendor hall is open September 15, 16, and 17. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday and Saturday, it's open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And Sunday, it's open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you're in the area, or if you have some last-minute airline miles that you want to use and head to DFW, check out their website. It's dfwfiberfest.com, and check it out. There might be I think there's a couple classes that there might be some last-minute availability, but a lot of the classes have sold out. But you can still attend the vendor events. There's sit and stitch areas scattered around all throughout the event center. And of course, you want to come say hi to our booth, because I will be there. And we have special guests, Max and Vincent from Les Garçons. I'm flying them in from Canada, and they are going to be there in my booth with all of their yummy, luscious yarn. Right across the aisle from me is Red Stag Fibre with his new Reginald the Third, Lord of Kitchener, or Duke of Kitchener. I don't remember what he said. Now I have the hiccups. But you can meet his mascot, take a selfie with it. I think on our aisle we also have Suburban Stitcher, Leading Men Fiber Art. So our aisle is just a hoot of awesomeness. I mean, there's other fun stuff throughout as well, but our aisle is going to be the fun aisle. And yeah, so you should come by and say hi. So anyway, I've been working on whips like crazy to finish them and get them ready for DFW, because I always like having a whole slew of fresh finished objects in the yarns that we're taking, because while I would love to take everything, we physically can't take it all. We already take an almost 30-foot U-Haul between me and Red Stag Fibre. We have 50 feet of booth space between the two of us. It's mind-boggling / overwhelming to think about already, to be perfectly honest. But it's a lot of fun. I love vendor events like this. It's just a way that I can basically recreate the shop in a little small bubble, if you will, and bring it to more people that haven't seen the shop. So feel like I'm rambling about it. Don't mean to be doing that. But I finished 3 whips. And actually, I don't think you've seen, I know you haven't seen this one. Let's get started. First off, I finished just like 2 days ago, so it's freshly off the blocking mats. I need to weave in some ends. But I finished my Cowboys and Angels, which is going to be our DFW, kind of our show shawl. So we've got lots of, I won't say kits because I don't like pre-package my kits, but this is the shawl that we're kind of, I also hesitate to say pushing, but that we're featuring using Les Garçons yarn, but I'll also have several other types of DK weight yarn if you are looking for something maybe superwash or non-superwash, whatnot. But this is kind of our DFW feature. Cowboys and Angels, it's perfect for the DFW area. You know, Dallas is known for their Cowboys, Fort Worth area as well, and of course, you know, outrageous clothes. So, Cowboys and Angels by Isabell Kramer, and it's that big bandana style shawl. It's so cozy. It looks giant on me, but I mean, it's a big shawl. It's like 4 skeins. Oh, it's so soft, you guys. I love the smell of Les Garçons wool. I'm just going to huff it. But look at this beautiful, let me get my face out of here. Beautiful texture. I hope you're seeing this. Yeah, you are. Stitches on this pattern. And the best part is this yarn shows all of those details so crisp and beautifully. It's just stunning. So this is the British DK from Les Garçons in the colorway Minnie's Wheat, and we have plenty of that at the show. Pattern is very easy as far as you have this trellis stitch, which she has written instructions or a chart, and then you have a little what she calls a bobble row, but they're teeny tiny little bobbles and they're not difficult whatsoever. And then you have nice big garter section, and then you repeat the little bobble in the trellis section, and then you just do a fun little rib detail at the end. And it's very, very easy. There's no cabling or anything like that. You just have cross stitches, which is kind of like cabling, but it's only 2 stitches, so it's less intimidating in this section. See, I have my end to weave in. But I thoroughly enjoyed this shawl, especially like you have your little spot that you can concentrate on, and then it turns into mindless garter stitch for a while, and then a little bit more concentration. So it's a good project and a beautiful shawl. So highly recommend this shawl. And like I said, we have yarn that we're taking to DFW for this, and if you want to see it afterwards, if we do sell out of all of our yarn, don't worry, we already have a backup plan with Vincent to restock us on the British DK. So, and the other yarn that we're taking, which I'll show you next. Okay, so this little finished object you haven't even seen me work on, but this was kind of what I worked on during the trail, and I posted a picture on Instagram. This is the Les Bandana by Aimee Gille, who owns La Bien-Aimée, which is the yarn, it used to be a yarn store, and now it's just a yarn company out of France. And this is a beautiful little pattern. It's like that perfect, it doesn't go with what I'm wearing, but just that perfect little bit to wrap around your neck and not really fuss with anything. So it's originally written, it's more of a recipe. She says right on the front, this is a recipe, because she has a couple different versions that you get in the pattern. So this is called the Jumbo Stripes, and then she has a smaller striped version, and then she has a non-striped version where she held I think it was a heavy lace with a mohair. So she's calling the gauge like a sport weight gauge. I think it's very versatile if you just adjust your needle size and use kind of any yarn that you're wanting. I know the ladies over at Espace Tricot changed their needle size and have been using Corey worsted and another like DK worsted weight yarn for their samples in store. I sized down a needle size, so she calls for like a 5, I believe. And I went down to a US 3 and just did fingering weight and Fuwa. So the yarn here, let me show you. Look at that beautiful teal. So this teal stripe is, whoops. There you go. The teal stripe is Les Garçons, I always get this wrong, BFL sock. So it is a superwash sock. It has a touch of nylon in it, and it is 100% BFL. It has a beautiful, nice tight twist on it, but it's not stiff or anything like that. And it has beautiful tonality. So the colorway that's here is Ellie's Childhood Home, one of their newer colorways, and we'll have plenty of this at the booth. And then this is Moondrake's Fuwa, which we also will be having at the booth. In the electric pink candy colorway. So I just picked 2 really kind of stark contrasting stripes, but it almost has like vintage Christmas vibes. I'm really loving it. So if you don't know what Fuwa is, let me show you. So it is a brushed cashmere and merino yarn. So it is like a substitute for mohair. So mohair can be a little bit irritating is not the right word, but it can be a little bit prickly to some people, which is why you have a lot of the Surrey alpaca out there right now. But this is an alpaca free yarn, so it's just a little, it's 30% merino, 70% brushed cashmere. So you get that really decadently soft, pillowy soft cashmere feel from it. It's very, very nice. And you get a little halo. I don't know if it's going to show up. You get a little fuzzy halo, but it's not as fuzzy and fluffy and sheddy as mohair can be. Obviously, there are lots of types of mohair out there that don't shed as much. That's one that we carry is the Tint Silk mohair. It does not shed nearly as much as some of the other types of mohair. And we will be taking some of that to DFW. But we'll have a full complement of Rochelle's beautiful fall palette in Fuwa, and I'm so excited. We'll also have the original colorway that I used, Toffee, to make my Moonbeams wrap. So stay tuned for that. And my last finished object, ta-da! I don't remember if I blocked this. I actually don't think I did. I think I just steamed it. I need to take this home and block it. Finished this like right before the trail started. Yeah, I didn't block it because see, it's kind of wonky looking. So this is my Born Slippy from Beata Jadzek. It's a free pattern from Hedgehog Fibers. I love the size and shape. It's not too big. You could still tuck it underneath a coat. But it's this really fun textural DK weight. It's more than a shawlette, but it's not like a full shawl. So hopefully that's showing up for you. But you can see it is a slip stitch mosaic pattern. It's not color work, so it's just slip stitches. And it's done with 2 skeins of Tweety as your main color, and then 1 skein of a contrasting speckled or variegated DK. Now, you don't have to use a speckled or variegated DK. You can do 2 solids. You can mix and match to your heart's content. But just saying that's what's recommended. That's what I did. I used the Tweedy in the colorway Barley, which I'll show you later. So it's one of the new colors of the dyed Tweedy. And then my background color is Red Stag Fibers Moody Moons, which is one of our custom colorways that we have. So 3 finished objects, and love every one of them. I feel like I was going to say something else about that pattern. I mean, it's a great, if you just want to grab 2 skeins of Tweety, it's just a great little way to experiment with Tweety yarn. Again, you don't have to use Tweety if Tweed's not your thing. Use DK of any sort. Okay, moving on to, that's not what I need, whips. I really only have 2 whips I can share because, yeah, I only have 2 whips I can share. now I have the hiccups. I have a couple other whips that are in progress, but they're in yarns I can't share about yet. One of which will be at DFW. The others will not yet. They'll be in the store later this year. But I wanted to show you, I have made some progress on my Alpine Bloom. I'm hoping to get, oh crap, just lost my sticky note. Hoping to get done. I'm very, very, very close to being done with the chart. And I'm wanting to get done really before this weekend so I can separate for sleeves. But this is my Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter. The yarns I'm using, I am using Spincycle just like she did for my contrast color, and it is the Moondrake Spincycle collaboration colorway Moonbeams. And then my main color is Red Stag Fibre Dachus sock in the colorway Antique Leather. So this doesn't look like normal or regular antique leather because it's on the Dachus sock base, which is a yak base, so it has a gray undertone. Oh, I got a text message, sorry. So that's my Alpine Bloom, and I'm loving it. So yeah, I just have less than 10 rows, I think, of the chart, and then I think I have to knit a little bit and then separate for sleeves. But I'd like to get to the sleeve separation before we leave for DFW. I'm not going to try to even think about finishing that for DFW. I'm not taking Red Stag yarn. Josh is taking Red Stag yarn. It's fine. My other whip. Other whip is my stays in my craft room kind of whip. It is my Max the Knitter Maxim Cyr. Oh, I have this on there. Can I share this? I think I can. You'll get a sneak peek. It's not available yet. I'll hide it for a second, then we'll get the grand reveal. So this is his pattern Chevronopolis. It's another slip stitch shawl, and yes, I am using Spincycle. I want to carry Spincycle so bad, you guys. I've got everybody I know trying to hook me up. But it's Spincycle for the contrast color. The colorway I did Stay Ready is the majority of this, and then I'm fading in a new color. It's kind of like Stay Ready, but it's got some, okay. Hello, there we go. It's got some green in it. This is Grumpy Birds. And then I think I have, my last one is, actually, my last one's right over here. Light Years, I think. Yeah. And then end out with a relatively tame skein of Light Years. So, kind of grays and greens. My main color is Andorra from Kelbourne Woolens, which is in the colorway Raven, which is their jet black, and I love it. It's going to be so nice, and mostly neutral with just a little pop of green, which I think will be super fun. It's really nice and I don't want to say thick, but spongy. This is not like crazy thick, but it's spongy. I love it. So again, this is like a row by row thing, so I keep this. I don't really travel with this one much. It's also outgrowing my bag that I have it in. But that is my craft room, stay at home and knit row by row kind of pattern. I'm really just not trying to rush that one. I'll get it done when I get it done, and just enjoying some morning or evening knitting with it. Okay, what else? That's it as far as whips, because I can't show you the other ones. New yarns. So I'm going to show you the Tweety as it falls down, because we have Tweety in stock that we will of course be taking to DFW. This is all going to fall. Okay. Ah. Goodness. Surrey is going after a bit of cardboard. Weirdo. Okay, so we got in Tweety in some of the colors. We also got in the original Tweety. So Tweety from Hedgehog Fibers. It's a recycled Falkland Merino wool with waste bits from the dyeing process of all the wonderful hedgehog fiber colors. It is a 100 gram skein, 230 meters, so about 250 yards. And like I said, that's the original colorway. This is the Barley. So Barley has a brown, come on, focus, focus. Hello, there we go. Ah, crap. Anyway, there we go. This is more brown undertone, like a taupe, and this is Barley. So there's the difference between those two. Then we got in also Bliss, which is like the pink, powdery pink. We're getting real low on that one. Dreaming in Light, which is the Madeline Tosh collaboration. It's a beautiful chartreuse colorway. Then we got in Moonlight. Beautiful pale blue colorway. And lastly, Connemara, which is like that soft sagey green that's just beautiful. So those are the colors we have of the Tweety. Of course, the darker colors, the noir and the soot, those are back ordered, unfortunately, but we have those available and it's perfect for your next project. Other things I wanted to show you, we got in a restock finally of Shelter and Arbor, limited colorways. There's a lot that's not in stock right now. Let me show you Shelter real quick. Okay, first off, Hayloft, finally back in stock. Love Hayloft. Then Flannel. This is Long Johns. Love it. Move them over there. Then we got in Bird Book. Really pretty, kind of a olivey forest green. Let me compare it real quick, because then we also got in Artifact, which is kind of similar but darker. Come on, focus. Hello. There we go. So this is Artifact on top, and it has a little more of a, I don't know, darker, grayer kind of look, like black woven into it. But we have that. So Bird Book, Artifact. Then this is Wood Smoke, one of our favorite neutrals. That's like a gray, but with a touch of warm taupe. Foothills, beautiful sagey green-gray combo. Then we have a couple more. We have a couple more blues. This is Almanac. Love that. Then we have Faded Quilt. I used Faded Quilt in my Douglas cardigan by Andrea Mowry. Old World. Beautiful dark, dark, dark navy. Then we have Storm Cloud, another one I used in my Douglas. And last but not least, we restocked Truffle Hunt. Truffle Hunt's always a good one because it's not like straight up black, but it's got a little warm brown in it. It's really, really pretty. So all of those colors for Shelter, plus the other ones we already had in stock. And then some of the new colors of Arbor that we're getting in. We restocked Fleet. Fleet is that beautiful dark navy. Restocked Klimt, which is that beautiful rich golden kind of brassy color. We also got in Tincture. Let me compare these two for you. So Tincture is the little bit lighter, slightly brighter, but not overly bright. Then we got Driftwood. So this batch of Driftwood is a little more taupe, I would say, than the old batch that we have, which is almost a little grayer. But we do have that. Then this is Burnished. This is what I used in my Marseille sweater. This is Treehouse. This is very similar to Dorado. We did not get in Dorado, but Treehouse, like I said, is very, very similar. Then Norway, that beautiful gray with a hint of almost sage. And last but not least, Mesa. So, oh, one more, sorry. Alzarin, that beautiful rich red. And, geez, keep finding them next to me. Cobbler, which is like blackberry yumminess. I think that's it. Okay, so that's the new Arbor colors and the new Shelter colors and of course the new Tweety colors. What else? Don't eat that. There's a cardboard box. And she's, I guess, wanting to be helpful and open it. Something for DFW. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. And I hope that you will continue to watch the podcast. And be sure to watch our Instagram and social media for DFW updates, because there's going to be some wild shenanigans at DFW for sure. And hopefully I will see some of you guys there at DFW at the booth. We definitely need to take selfies and, of course, have selfies with Max and Vincent as well. Oh, I never did show you what I was hiding on this. I kept it hidden and then I put it away. I don't know if it even just slipped up. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Look at that! Max drew Surrey. So Max kindly offered to, I may have done some begging, to illustrate Surrey in his very awesome, unique way that he does his beautiful illustrations. And so at DFW, we will be having these Surrey Progress Keepers and Surrey Pins available, and they're so cute. They're going to go really, really fast. So if you're a pin collector, or if you're just a collector fan of Max's illustrations, definitely grab you a pin and Progress Keeper while you're at DFW. Hopefully we don't sell out, and then we can have a few that we bring back for you guys that can't make it and put them on the website. But yeah, they're so cute. They're rose gold, which I think is awesome, and they do look just like Surrey. And the pin she's got her paws on a skein of yarn, and it's just the most precious thing ever. So I need to go do some more barcoding and inventory prep for DFW, clean up my yarn piles here, and pack some orders and get ready to open up the shop shortly. And oh, let me add this. If you are local and you are interested in coming by the shop this week, we're fine, which by the time this goes up will be mostly over with, the week of DFW. So it's like the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, 15th, 16th. We will be open Tuesday, which is the 12th, I believe, if I have my dates correctly. But yes, it is the 12th. We'll be open normal hours on the 12th, but we will be closed starting the 13th, which is Wednesday, all the way through DFW and until the next Tuesday. So it'll only be open storefront next Tuesday. Will be the only day that week that we will be open. So thanks for your understanding. We have a lot to pack up and drive 4 hours north of here, and it's a whole process. So thanks for being patient with us. If you place an online order during the week of DFW, it will ship out the following week. We will have that announcement on our website as well. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next podcast, which will be post DFW. And hopefully I'm not just totally exhausted. I'll probably be just hyped up on caffeine like normal. See you guys later. Bye-bye.